Welcome back everyone, Costin here with more Ultimate General Civil War, the Battle of Antietam. And this is where we end up in one of the big problems that you do have facing yourself as a player in a campaign over here. Because it's not good enough to just win individual battles. To win the campaign, you need to win in such a manner that your troops gain veterancy, so they need to kill a lot of the enemy in battles. You also need to fight a lot of battles. So the problem that gets created, it's easy enough to win a lot of these early game battles, but in order to win the late game battles, you need to have multiple corps of troops. 2, 3, 4, 5 corps of troops. It means a lot of divisions, means a lot of soldiers, means a lot of casualties as well to deal with, to manage. And you need to manage that. You might take an entire division from one of your veteran corps and just move it to another one. That's exactly what I've done already in this campaign. Anyway, I have two particular battles. We have Harper's Ferry and we have Chantilly. Chantilly, undecisive battle in the war. The Union caught some Confederate troops out of position, thought they could wipe them out. Didn't work so well for the Union, didn't work so well for the Confederates, historically speaking. By the way, we do have some positions over here. We are going to hold those positions and try and wipe them out while using the secondary army. I'm actually going to deploy more artillery. If there's anything to be said about this game, is artillery is the king of these kind of battles. Without artillery, if you don't have good artillery, you are not going to win very easily, very effectively. So we got more troops coming in, more artillery going to be deployed, skirmishers moving in, more units coming in, gonna move them forward, more line units coming in. No cavalry, sadly enough, but I am just going to have to make do with what I've got over there. I am going to deploy 2 more units in the center to help support the center, that Finn center, because we've got a lot of stuff coming in here. Brigades upon brigades of Union soldiers marching against me over here, and I need to try and, holy shit, are they coming here? Brigades, okay, one's going down. I would have actually possibly benefited quite a bit in this battle from deploying my cavalry early on, because cavalry is important in terms of chasing down the artillery, especially. Like, infantry-wise, this may shock you guys, but infantry-wise, casualty size-wise, like, both of us do take a lot of casualties, but where I win, where I do a lot, and where you can do a lot as a player, is not so much in terms of the infantry losses. Like, you're gonna have to take fortified positions. As a result of that, your infantry is gonna take a lot of damage. So you need to find some way to do a lot of damage to the enemy army. And the way you do damage is with against their artillery. One of the key elements of victory is to do a lot of damage against their artillery, because it's harsh to end up doing bad damage against the infantry. Obviously, they're gonna shoot at each other. Artillery helps in that respect, so eliminating the enemy artillery does reduce your battle damage. And the way you do that is with cavalry, or counter-artillery, or snipers. Now over here, I've done a brave flanking move over there. And I'm going to do another one over here. Because the center Union line, although it's still very strong, it's been weakened. They just don't have the morale right now to do a full frontal charge against me. So I'm just going to move, try and take their supplies, try and take their artillery guns. Alright, I've lost a colonel. That's not too big of a concern. moving the artillery further. Trying to wipe those units out. Trying to take them out over there. Alright, we got the victory. I inflicted 4 times as many casualties on them because obviously I captured some of the enemy as well. So I've won the Battle of Chantilly. Not many casualties, just a colonel taken down over there. I've got plenty of replacements for them though. Still quite a lot of men. We're gonna go on to Harper's Ferry. Now, one of the reasons I focus on canister damage is I know how I want to use my artillery. I want to get it up close, personal, take them out, do a lot of damage over there. Now, if I move there, so that's still 5 brigades. I think I can increase it to 6, but it's probably going to require a very, very high level, and there's no value right now in doing that, so I'm going to increase medicine at the moment. I mean, there will be value, don't get me wrong. So I can get a bit of speed over here with this unit, get that charging bonus. You need to basically manage your units between melee and range firepower. Both are good, both are important. Both are very important. Where is their Stewart? Okay. So we've captured, there's still 70,000. Now, the thing about Antietam is that it's scaled. So regardless of how many units you have, you will not outnumber the Union in this. In fact, trying to do that, trying to spend the men to do that, is a surefire way to end up losing the battle potentially. Now, I may want to put 10 units here, you know, have more units, have some numbers, have some brigades, right? 3,000 men on their colonel over there, get an artillery brigade. Under another colonel, get another infantry brigade. But just bear in mind that there is going to be a cost to this, and the cost is that the Union is going to have a very formidable force at Antietam. Okay. I may want to get another brigadier general. Actually, just hired these guys outright. Over here, just scroll down. Just hire them. Okay. So I've got some lieutenant colonels wounded, a colonel that's also very high ranked, ready to go over there. Now, I am going to need a lot of ammunition for the Battle of Antietam. 30,000, let's go. 35,000. So, now, Harper's Ferry, General Jackson was able to take that out, historically speaking. So, let's go for Harper's Ferry. I am going to take my 2nd Corps, and I'm just going to throw it directly into the front of the enemy. Or rather, I won't. I'll flank around. I don't need as many, like, I'm going to bring my skirmishers, I'm going to bring some line infantry, but this battle is going to be won by artillery and going to be won by cavalry. I mean, obviously the infantry is going to play their role, but a significant role at that, but the main damage to the enemy army is going to really be done by this artillery barrage that I'm going to throw against them. Like, if you shepherd your artillery carefully and you understand that you need to keep them alive and you capture a lot of enemy guns, then you might end up, in some situations, though not all of them, end up with artillery superiority. That is important because because you are not going to have as many good rifles as the Union, and obviously that's going to be a bit of a problem with your line of infantry. Like, Confederate soldiers tend to be better trained, so that's one of your advantages, morale, but the quality of the actual firearms itself is not going to be as good as what the Union is going to provide. So a lot of the guns I actually use in a campaign are either British, French, or Austrian guns, or I'm gonna move General Johnston over here. Albert Sidney Johnston, who died in the Battle of Shiloh. I just move over here and move a Stuart over here to take out that guy. We can possibly, if we're careful enough, take out these skirmishers. But the goal here is to not necessarily take down the skirmishers. It's like we want to turn this flank and then go after the artillery over there. There's an artillery unit there. Multiple artillery units. Can capture it, thank you. Let's move these guys forward. Alright, got one of my colonels wounded. Let's move up, move up, move up. Broken foot move there. Load the artillery up. And try and take them out. And there we go. So we captured 5,000 almost, took down 7,000, killed 7,000, lost 3,000. Pretty good victory. Now, logistics are actually least important ones. I mean, obviously it's important, especially later on in a campaign. But for now, we're just gonna focus on training. So keep these guys going. Now let's take a look at our units. Just going to improve these guys a bit.
Yes, sir.
We do have some money.
Yes, sir.
They're going to get the melee skill tree. Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Mississippi's, forget that. We got a bunch of Springfields available. Harper's Ferry. Well, actually, I'll just stick with the Mississippi for them. Because although I have other guns, they're going to be more important for some other units. Okay. Over here, I am going to beef up some of the units here. Because they're going to be... This part of the army is going to find itself under a great pressure, a great deal of pressure, because they're going to face the main onslaught of the Union Army. So we now have Antietam. Antietam will give me 35 points, so I'm free to get a bunch of Enfield guns. Need a quality guns for my units. I don't care about a bunch of colonels, yes, even if it's Armistead. So let's see, they've got Springfields, Enfields. Imagine the Confederate army being as well equipped as this is. So this is really good. These are good rifles. Okay, just those Mississippi's by the looks of it. These are all pretty good rifles that I do have. Not necessarily certain about the quality of the cannon. But I think it will do. I still have the ability to recruit 12,000 men. How many veterans do I have? 1,000 are available.
Sir, yes, sir!
We also got quite a few badly wounded soldiers there. But yeah, the first corps is going to take
Yes, sir.
the brunt of the fighting. Now, is an interesting question what you should do at Antietam. Because there's two ways of viewing the Battle of Antietam. Two really big major ways. And dependent on how you answer that question, things can go very, very differently for you as a player in the actual battle.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so some Harper's Ferry. So I've got 30,000 over there. These guys got some ranks, some unit ranks, just that passive, nice, solid passive benefit. I think I'm just going to recruit maybe one more cavalry brigade. Put that over there. So I've got 20,000, 37,000, maybe even I should get even more than that. All Alright, that's a decent enough rifle, but there's
Yes,
not
sir.
many of them available. I think when it comes to the front line, I do want to have at least 40,000 men.
Sir, yes, sir!
Problem is,
Sir, yes, sir!
I might want to actually deploy all of my unit reserves. Every single thing that I have, just throw it in this battle. Because in this particular battle, let me
Yes,
tell
sir.
you what's important. If you can wipe out the entire unit, like, forget about just purely winning. I know I'm gonna do that. I mean, yes, Antietam, one of the bloodiest days in American military history, or the bloodiest day. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk over McClellan's army. I mean, it's McClellan. I mean, I can't help but feel contempt for him. People like McClellan, Bragg, Beauregard, yeah, you can't help but feel utter contempt for those guys as military leaders. Okay, get a bunch more rifles. I'm still at 9,000. I could just get a bunch of recruits, but I think I'm gonna stop right now. That is sufficient for the battle. Although, interestingly enough, I actually... Okay, let's go with Armistead as a colonel. Just put him in charge over here of a brigade. Use him. I would potentially use another general. Maybe a general in charge of artillery. Yeah, let's... So here's what's going to happen. This particular army is going to face this particular corps of 30,000 men. Is essentially going to fight the battle on its own. The reason I say that is because the way the battlefield is set up. So if we look at the battlefield of Antietam, and one note is this is a kind of game where you should really research history because it will help you a great deal. But here's what you need to know. The vast majority of the battle will be taking place here with these two corps. There's 12,000 men. That is a ridiculous amount, but basically the vast majority of these 12,000 men, at least 70,000, 80,000, 60,000 at the very least, are going to crash into the church. A lot of the remainder will crash into the center, and very few will crash into the right flank. So you could even have just one brigade, like over here for the right flank, and you could still win the battle. Now, winning Antietam is, well, your goal is to stop the Union. Now, we do have infantry brigades over there. We have artillery over there and over here. As usual, I will look to deploy all of the artillery that I do have available from the very start. That way I don't have to move it later on. Now, I need to be a bit careful here. Why did I deploy forest? That was a mistake. But I need to be a bit careful over here when it comes to this battle, because it is pretty easy to get a lot of your units wiped out completely. Now there's going to be units coming from here, so I'm not going to be able to hold this position forever. But my goal right now is buying time. Alright, they're moving forward. foolishly moving forward. Alright, here comes the Iron Brigade. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Now, a reminder, my objective in this battle is not to hold this field. I just want to do that because I know I can inflict staggering losses and delay McClellan's brutal advance. Now, okay. I'm going to reposition my guys over here. We still have the high ground there, but that's not important. Okay, reinforcements coming in. Is that it? So much for reinforcements, I guess. Now we fall back. We've done a lot of damage there. Fall back to the woods. Oh shit. That's not good, that's not good. Fall back. Alright, reinforcement, gentlemen. Pull back the artillery a bit because they're at risk over there. Alright, much of McClellan's army here has been, much of McClellan's vanguard rather, has been wiped out. Okay, that was just the first wave, though. Don't think that's gonna stay as easy as it has so far. Okay, a lot of the artillery will be moved here, but I need to get more of my units advancing over here. Shore up my lines over on this side. Get my cavalry moving forward. Get Johnston. He's going to have to... Yeah, Antietam is one of those battles where you can lose your entire army. If you're playing the Union, it's pathetically easy. Because, well, not pathetically easy, but one of the things to know is that as the Union, you do need to take these objectives, sure, but how you take them, that's a different discussion. Just don't try and do what that imbecile McClellan tried to do. And besides, you've got a lot of the... Okay, so they're falling back. Oh, cavalry charge directly in the center. Let's throw some reserves there. General Johnston, you are required on the bridge. We need to hold that bridge. If I allow McClellan to take that bridge, it just... Like, this is why I hold McClellan in contempt. He had every opportunity to wipe out Lee, and he didn't. Like, they were so terrified of fucking Lee that they literally... throw away really good... Oh, shit. Here comes the main advance. Yeah, I did tell you. This is gonna get hectic, boys and girls. Yeah, I'm pretty freaking terrified when I see that. I mean, I think seeing 100,000 men barreling towards you, if that's not enough to drive to create panic in you, I'm not sure what would. That is an interesting situation, because on... Alright, I've stopped them dead cold over there. The advance over... Shit, man, this is brutal. Jackson, where are you? Fall back. Form a secondary line. I'm gonna need some reinforcements. Maybe... It's time for the ride of the Confederates. Straight into that melee bloodbath. The Union can... Oh, god, that's like insanely high. I'm not sure I can stop them over there. That's too much. Like, this is where it really becomes a bloodbath. Okay, you guys get the hell out of here. Move the artillery forward. Okay, we stopped them. We lost a lot, but we stopped them. More of them incoming. It's like being Zerg rushed. What I can't understand is how the fuck did McClellan thought this was gonna be a great idea. Alright, there's a bridge. There's multiple bridges. Alright. This is the one side of the battlefield that you don't necessarily care about. This is where you deploy your supporting brigades. Right, General Hill. Many of your brigades are going to be needed elsewhere. Here he comes. One last move. I still haven't managed to do a single cavalry charge, but how the hell do you manage a cavalry charge for that? You can, don't get me wrong, but damn. There's artillery. Okay, they're getting wiped out there. Some of my artillery units have been reduced to 50% effective. There's still just so many of them. My artillery is feeling the pressure here. They can't keep this up. That's one thing I know for certain. They've got the good formation though. Damn bastards. Oh shit. Back there, boys. We should call it Antietam, the graveyard of officers. And entire units being wiped out. As I stated, they can't keep it up. They took the church. Let's take it back. The Union Center holds. Alright, they're gone. Fall back because they're about to crumble. They've taken a lot of beating. They've taken a hell of a beating there. You can see what's happened to the battlefield here. That should give you an idea of what... Oh! The Union Center still holds. Now. Well, so much for Burnside doing shit in this entire battle. Not that I expected much from him, honestly. Given it's not even his fault really, it's like McClellan being stupid. Okay. That, gentlemen, was a bloodbath. 50,000 Union soldiers killed. 60,000 almost total. Or almost 70,000 casualties in total. Over half their army. Well, I lost a lot of my guns as well, sadly enough.
Sir, yes, sir!
I'm gonna get some 24 pounders. But yeah, my artillery has suffered immensely. Alright, career. Hold on, before I do anything. Yes, there are 3 deployment points, but only 1. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir!
Okay, that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, one of my divisions lost their commanding leader. Well, let's give AP Hill a division. This is gonna be a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir!
Nah, just increasing their sizes. Veterancy does matter. Numbers are important too, don't get me wrong. Probably worth it more to save veterans or artillery brigades.
Yes,
I
sir.
think. Right, so they've got a new fancy leader. Just getting these guys to a higher and higher level. I don't necessarily want to go for more than 40,000 men for each corps, though. So this is probably the... Like, this is getting close to the limit of what I'm willing to do. Because you have to balance it out with other corps. Like, 40,000 will be enough for the purpose. I do have a lot of money and quite a lot of political points, though. And these guys got some levels as well. Because obviously they're earning experience each time, right? So I do want to increase that. Now, over here in the 1862 winter campaign, we have several battles, minor ones, nothing too significant. So there's Prairie Grove, pretty easy one. All things considered. Corinth, not necessarily so easy, but still, I mean, it's a defensive one, right? Well, actually, no, it's not a defensive one, it's an offensive one. But still, find a weak point, take it out, right? I was pretty certain I could get more brigades. Maybe I just can't. But it's not going to matter too much for Fredericksburg, but it is going to matter later on. I mean, you can, right, obviously. Maybe it's just another division. Oh yeah, you can get 5 divisions, right? That's the key there. But not too important for a moment. Anyway, that was the Battle of Antietam. I've won every single battle so far. Antietam gives you a lot just because of how brutal it is, really. But yeah, Burnside did nothing there. As he did very little, historically speaking. In that actual battle. Now over here, this would give me 8. This would give me 8. So I think I'm going to get a bunch of Richmonds. Why not?
Yes, sir.
And with those Richmonds, place some of the Lorems. There we go. Yeah. Costin signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.